so far we discussed about how to find out normal probability and how to fit a normal distribution to the given frequency distribution. Okay. So in today's class, we shall see how to approximate binomial distribution with normal distribution. Okay. So earlier we have seen how to approximate binomial distribution with Poisson distribution. So when do we approximate binomial distribution with Poisson distribution? If n is large and p is very small, right? In that case, we take lambda equal to np, which is the binomial average. Okay, so by taking lambda equal to np, we compute the binomial probability using the Poisson probability, and we derived that result also as in for large values of n as n tends to infinity by binomial distribution approaches to Poisson distribution. Okay, and can also approximate the binomial distribution with Poisson normal distribution, provided p is around 0.5. P is around 0.5. Okay, so when p is around 0.5 and for large values of n, instead of approximating with the Poisson, you can approximate with the normal probability. Okay, so again notice that binomial distribution is a discrete probability distribution and normal distribution is a continuous probability distribution. So when you are finding probabilities of binomial distribution with the normal distribution, we need to add the continuity correction. Okay, so how to add continuity correction we have seen in fitting of normal distribution. For a lower interval, we take 0.5 less. Okay, and for upper interval we add 0.5. Okay, so lower limit minus 0.5 to upper limit plus 0.5 will be the probability for normal probability. Okay, so when you are approximating binomial with the normal distribution. Okay, so that is the thing that you have to make a note. Now I'm going to share this. Okay, so can you see this? Can you see these problems? So put this side heading. Yes. Put this side heading. Normal approximation to binomial distribution. Normal approximation to binomial distribution. Okay. So you just write a point. Okay. Note down the first problem. Find the probability that the number of heads occurring. Find the probability that the number of heads occurring when a fair coin is tossed 12 times. When a fair coin is tossed 12 times, is it between 4 and 7 inclusive? Is in between 4 and 7 inclusive by binomial distribution as well as normal approximation to binomial distribution. By binomial distribution as well as normal approximation to binomial distribution. Okay, so we shall solve these problems. Okay, now for any, so first we shall solve this problem by binomial distribution. For whether it is binomial distribution or normal approximation to binomial distribution, we need to define the random variable, right? So what is the random variable? Can you tell me? What it says? Number of heads. Okay, so number of heads. Okay, occurring when a fair coin is tossed 12 times. Okay, so this itself is giving a hint that it is a Bernoulli process. Okay, why it is Bernoulli process? N is given. N is given. It is about head and tail. So only two possibilities. Okay, with the probability of success is constant at each time. Okay, so clearly, so therefore, okay, X is a binomial random variable with mean equal to NP. Okay, what is P here?
1/2.
1 by 2. Okay, so equal to 6 and variance equal to NPQ equal to 12 into 0.5 into 0.5. Please complete. What is this value? 12 into 0.5 into 0.5.
30.
12 into 0.5 into 0.5.
3.
3. So what is probability of it equal to? P equal to 1 by 2 equal to 0.5. This implies that Q equals to 1 minus P equal to 1. Okay. So now we are asked to find out the binomial probability first. Okay. So first one is about probability that probability that 4 less than or equal to, because both are inclusive. He said 4 and 7 to be included. 4 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 7. So what are the values x is taking? 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 probabilities you have to find. That means sigma r equal to 0 to, sorry, it is not r equal to 0. R equal to what? 4 to 7. Okay, binomial probability of r number of successes out of 12 tries. The probability of each success is 1 by 2. Is that okay? So either you find out 4 binomial probabilities. What is the other way of finding this? F of 7 minus f of 4. F of 4, it is not f of 4. What is that? Because 4 is included, no?
F of
3.
F of 3. Okay. So now I think we have the cumulative distribution table, no? You just look at the cumulative distribution table and so for n equal to 12, 0.5 is here. Here is 0.5. 0.5 is last. Okay. So n equal to 12. Okay. For 0.5 and f of 7, right? F of 7 is how much? See, f of 7 is it 0.8062?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for n equal to 12, 7 0.8062. Okay. So this is 0.8062 minus f of 3.
0.0730.
0.0730. Okay. Now you see, it is a cumulative distribution. Make a note. This is a cumulative distribution. Okay. What is that value? Can you tell me? 0.0730. 0.0730. Okay. Please compute this.
0.7.
Point
735.
7
3 3 5.
3 5. Okay. Okay. So that is the actual probability. Now we shall compute the same probability with normal distribution, and let us see how close that value is. Okay. For a normal distribution, what is your z? Z we are taking it as x minus lambda by mu. Okay. So this in this case x minus what is lambda in our case np by sorry, I think there is a mistake, right? What is the transformation for this?
X
X
minus
minus
mu by
x minus mu by sigma. Mu is np and sigma is what? Tell me.
NPQ.
under root NP.
And under root npq, because npq is the variance. Am I right? npq is the variance is 3. Okay. So what is this?
Yes, sir.
So x minus np is a 6 by under root 3. Do you agree? Okay. So mean is this is mean. This is mean. Okay. This is sigma square. Okay. Now we want. Okay. Okay. Let's approximate binomial probability with normal probability. Normal probability. Okay. Assume that Z is asymptotically normal. It may not be normal, but it may be almost normal, because x is a binomial distribution. X is a binomial random variable. It is not a normal random variable. Okay. So if it is near to normal distribution, Z will be near to standard normal distribution. Okay. So we assume that x is asymptotically normal. Okay. Then what we have to find out the standard scores. Okay. So what are the standard scores? Standard scores. For
Z1,
x1 equal to what? For 7, x1 equal to 4, and x2 equal to 7. Okay. Or we have to say that we shall write like this. Okay. Actually, I said I have to add continuity correction, no, to find probability that 4 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 7. Okay. But using continuity correction, we compute 0. So what I have to do, I have to less 0.5, I have to add 0.5. So instead of 4 to 7, what I am going to compute? 3.5 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 7.5, because practically, okay, the probability that is obtained through continuity correction is becoming more closer to the actual probability. So that's why whenever you have it, you are approximating a discrete probability distribution with a normal distribution, like binomial, you make this continuity correction. Okay. Now instead of finding standard scores for 4 and 7, you please compute the standard scores for 3.5 and 7.5. Okay. So compute. So x1 equal to 3.5 implies what is z1? Z1 equal to x1 minus mu by sigma. So what is x1 here? 3.5 minus mu is 6 by root 3. Compute. So x2 equal to 7.5 means z2 equal to x2 minus mu by sigma. So x2 is 7.5 minus sigma by root 3. So we are finding the corresponding z1. What is z1 value?
minus 1.4434.
Remember, z scores must be rounded to 2 decimals only. You remember the normal distribution table? Round off to 2 decimals and tell me. Minus
1.44.
1.44. Okay. What is z2 value?
1.06.
1.06. Okay. Now you remember, you could observe. Okay. One value is negative, one value is positive. That means what? You have to add the areas. You remember? So probability that x1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to x2 equal to probability that z1 less than or equal to z less than or equal to z2 equal to probability that minus 1.44 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 1.06, which is same as saying that probability that minus 1.44 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0 plus probability that 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 1.06. And left half is same as right probability. So this is probability that 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 1.44 plus, okay, probability that 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 1.06. So I'm going to write the probabilities here. Okay, so you just compute the area from 0 to 1.44. What is 1.44 value? 1.4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 0.4251? 0.4251. Okay, plus what is other value? 1.06.
Sir,
1.00.
Z2 value is 0.86.
0, huh?
Z2 value is 0.86, sir.
Wrong, 0.86.
0.86.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 0.86. 0.86. So I have to make these values. 0.86. 0.86. 0.86. Okay. So I have to look for 0.86. So what is 0.86? 0.8, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 0.305? 0.305. Okay. So what is this sum?
0.7302.
0.73?
02.
0.730. Now we got 0.7302 of a normal probability, and see 0.7335. Are these two closer? They are agreeing up to first two decimals, no?
Yes, sir.
So that's why. So for large values of n, okay, and for p around middle, p is around 0.5, we approximate binomial probability with the normal probability. And this is a very good example to understand the concept of normal approximation, binomial distribution. Okay, in exams they may not be specifically mentioned use normal approximation to binomial distribution or use binomial distribution. They may not mention about the kind of distribution. They will simply stop up to this. Find the probability that the number of hits occurring when a fair coin is tossed 12 times is in between 4 to 7 inclusive. That's it. If it is asked only up to this, then because n is relatively less, n is 12. 12 means you can identify through your binomial distribution table, right? That means you can directly apply binomial distribution. If it is n is more than 20, if it is 50, 100, like that, okay, if nothing is mentioned about kind of distribution to be applied, then depending on the problem, either you apply Poisson approximation or you apply normal approximation. Is it clear? Okay. So, okay, you just take one more problem, and then we'll quickly move on to the other one. So normal. So copy the second one. A pair. I'll copy this. Okay. So note down this. Previously it's a coin problem. Now it is a die problem, dice problem. Okay. See, in probability you might have observed that. Okay. Logic will be same, but only situation is different. Okay. A pair of dice is rolled 80 times. Now you observe that n is relatively large. Okay, so 80 means 33, 41. These things you cannot obtain through your binomial distribution table. Okay, a pair of dice is rolled 80 times. Determine the probability that a total of 7 occurs. Determine the probability that a total of 7 occurs at least 25 times. That is the first question. Between 33 and 41 inclusive, exactly 30 times. Did you copy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you observe, now nothing is mentioned about the random variable or the kind of distribution to be applied. Question may be like this in exams. Is that okay? So, you just have to understand the situation and apply the related distribution. Okay. So, what is your random variable? Always start your solution by defining the random variable correctly. If you don't define the random variable correctly, I think everything follows going to be wrong. Okay. So, what is your random variable? X equal to, it is asking about probability of a total of 7. Okay, every time you are rolling a die, okay, you can a pair of dice means what is the minimum value of the sum, what is the maximum value of the sum. Minimum value is 2,
2.
maximum
Maximum is
value is
36.
12.
12.
12, 6 plus 6, 12, no. So whenever I throw a pair of dice, I can get a value ranging from 2 to 12. Okay, so like that, if you are rolling the die for 80 times, out of 80 times, what is the probability of occurring 7? At least 25 times. That is the question. So how do you define the random variable? Let x equal to
Of time.
correct number of, because always random variable in binomial distribution is number of successes. X equal always number of successes. Okay, x equal to number of, always start with number of. Okay, number of times. Okay, a total of 7 occurs when a pair of dice rolled 80 times. Okay, so clearly x is a binomial random variable with n equals to how much? N equal to 80
80.
and p equal to probability of success. What do you mean by probability of success? Getting
7.
1 in a trial. Remember, it is a trial. Okay, so what is a, you just make a rough thing. Okay, in a rough notebook, you note down the possibilities, favoring cases for 7. What are the favoring cases for 7?
1, comma
2,
6.
1, 6, 2, 5,
3, 4.
3, 4.
3, 4, and reverse. Right? 4,
yes.
3, 5, 2, and 6, 7. Am I right? So you
1 by
know total
6.
possibility, total possibilities are 36. So this is going to be 6 by
6 by
36
36.
equal to 1 by 6. Okay, so this implies that q equal to 1 minus p is equal to 1 minus 1 by 6 equal to 5 by 6. Okay, and you may say that sir, 1 by 6 is not nearly 0.5. So can we approximate this with normal distribution? You can approximate as long as NP, I'll write here. You just compute NP and NQ. What is NP? Note that 80 into 1 by 6.
13.333.
NQ is also, sorry, 5 by 6. It is 13 point something.
Yes, sir. 13.33.
13.3.
Okay. Okay. So 30. So when it is 13.3 something, NQ is also more than 13.3. Okay. So what I'm telling is, if both NP and NQ are greater than or equal to 5, in that case also you can approximate. Okay. Note that NP greater than or equal to 5, and NQ is also greater than or equal to 5. So when both NP and NQ are greater than or equal to 5, in that case also you can approximate binomial property with normal probability. Okay. So we got P. What is the mu? Mean equal to NP equal to, again this is 1 by 1 by 6. Please tell me again, 1 by 6 means what?
13.33.
13.3. 13.33, yeah?
Yes, sir. 13.33.
And variance. Okay, variance. Or we don't need variance, no, we want SD, standard deviation. Okay, so standard deviation sigma equal to root of NPQ. Please compute this also.
3.33.
Under root 3.33, yeah?
Under root 11.1111. Yes.
So that is 3.33.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the number of times a total of 7 occurs. So now what is the question? So now we are going to approximate. Okay. So let approximate. Let approximate BD with let approximate binomial distribution, normal distribution. Okay. With z equal to x minus np by let me write again, x minus mu by sigma. So x minus np by root npq. So x minus np is 13.33 by 3.3. Okay. So now let us do the problems. What is the first one? Probability that
25. At least 25 times.
that means what? X greater than or equal to 25. At least means it can be 25. Okay. So now instead of this, we write it as probability that x greater than or equal to, we use continuity correction. So when you use continuity correction, 24.5.
5.
Okay. So x equal to 24.5 means find out the what z score. Z equal to, okay, x minus mu by sigma equal to 24.5 minus 13.33 by 3.33. Compute this.
3.35.
3.35.
Always tell me up to 2 decimals only.
3.35.
3.35. Okay. Now, therefore, probability that x greater than or equals to 25 is approximated with the probability that z greater than or equals to 3.35. So again, draw the rough sketch. 3.35 is right tail, right? Greater
Yes.
than means right tail. This is 3.35. Z equal to. So how do we write this? Right tail equal to 0.5 minus.
Minus 0 to 3 point.
So
Probability.
0.5 minus probability that 0 less than z less than Okay, for a continuous probability distribution, it doesn't matter whether I write less than or equal to. Okay, 3.3. Okay, so this is going to be 0.5 minus. Now look at your distribution table for 3.35. 3.3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0.4996. Okay, 0.4996. So this is 0.4996. What is this probability?
0.004.
0.004.
4. What is fourth decimal? 40, no?
So 0.0004.
Oh, 3
Three
zeros.
zeros.
Yeah. Yes. 3 zeros. Okay, so that is how we compute the probability. Okay, now in this problem we directly computed the binomial probability by approximating with the normal probability. Okay, in a similar way you find out the remaining two. So what are the next one? Okay, 33 and 41 you do 33 and 41 you do as we did in the previous case. Now I will see exactly 30 times. How do we do exactly 30 times?
X equals to 30.
X equal to 30. Now, if you want to apply normal distribution can be computed for an interval because X is a continuous random variable. X is a continuous random variable. For a continuous random variable, probability at a point is 0. So, but here we cannot say like that. Every time we cannot say probability is 0. That's why we again make the continuity correction. Okay. So, what is that continuity correction for it?
29.
Here a lower bound equal to upper bound. Okay, so this is approximated with the probability that 29.5 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 30
31.
points. Is that clear? So though you're asked to find out at a given value, that given value can be converted into interval using the continuity correction. Is that okay? Now find out the corresponding z scores and get the probability. Okay, so x1 equal to 29.5 means what is z1? Okay, so x1 minus mu by sigma. Please tell me x1 minus 13.33 by 12. Okay, 29.5 minus 13.33 by 3.33.
4.8559.
That means 86.
Yes, sir. 4.8.
X2 equal to 30.5 means Z2 equal to X2 minus mu by sigma. 30.5 by 13.33 by 3.33. Compute this.
1.
Please tell me.
5.16.
5.16. Is this 5.16 given in our problem or not? Distribution table? Distribution table is there for 3.9 only. See, that means it is almost for 3.9 up to 4 decimals it is 0.5. That means beyond 3.9 also it will be almost 0.5, right? And both are larger than 3.9. Okay. So that means we are getting almost 0, right? And that is
Yes.
what we are expecting, right? Exactly 4 decimals means you will get 0 only. But if you are increasing the number of decimals, okay, at 8th decimal or 9th decimal, you may get a non-zero value. But for a discrete, you will definitely get exactly 0. Okay. For a continuous probability distribution, okay. So I think you are getting almost 0 because right tail is almost 0.5 at 3.3. 3.9 itself 0.5. Okay, so can't do much about it. Okay, so probability that x1 less than or equal to x2 sorry x less than or equal to x2 equal to approximate with probability that z1 less than or equal to z less than or equal to z2 equal probability that 4.86 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 5.16, which is equal to probability that 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 5.16 minus probability that 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 4.86. Both are 0.5 minus 0.5 means you are getting 0. Okay, 0 up to 4 decimals. Remember, 0 up to 4 decimals.
Therefore, between 33 and 41 also will get 0 only.
Yes, sir. For second.
Between second one
33
also,
and
no?
33
Yeah,
and
because
41.
because for 30 itself you are getting like this, no? So for 33 and 41 also, I think you will get beyond this one. Okay, are these values correct? NP and NQ, mean and standard deviation.
Yes, sir.
33.3.33. Okay, so x1 values are okay. So see out so average number of we are expecting average on an average seven times. We are expecting on an average 7 times. Sorry, on an average you are expecting only 14 times. 7 appears, right? So average is 14, but you are asking to compute the probability for 33 to 41. Okay, you cannot expect 7 appearing 30 times. 30 times out of 80 tries. Okay, that probability it is showing almost 0. Okay, so if I ask you to compute in between 8 to 12, okay, or 7 to 15, I think that you will get a non-zero value. Okay, so you just check that. Okay, so I'm adding one more. Later you see. Okay, between. So we are assuming on an average 14 times, no? So here you say, okay, 12 to 15 times or 16 times, both inclusive. So I think in this case you will get definitely a non-zero problem, because this is closer to mean. You definitely get less than 3.9 values. That means you will get a non-zero problem. Is this fine? So you take B. You take B and D as an exercise. You take B and D as an exercise. Is it clear to all of you? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, take third one is also homework. Okay. Find the probability that out of 100 patients between 84 and 95 inclusive, fewer than 86 will survive a heart operation, given that the chance of survival is 0.9. So here P is given 0.9. So Q is 0.1. So NP is 90 greater than or equal to 5, and NQ is 10 greater than or equal to 5. Therefore, you can approximate binomial probability with normal probability, and you make a continuity correction here. Instead of finding 84 to 95, you make it as 83.5 to 95.5, and here instead of fewer than 86 means what? Less than or equal to 86. So instead of less than or equal to less than 86, less than 86 means what? Less than or equal to 85. Less than or equal to 85 can be computed with 85, less than or equal to 85.5. Okay, so there is a difference between at least, at most, at least. Okay, read the problem carefully and write down. Fewer than means less than 86. Less than 86 means less than or equal to 85. That means you are going to add upper bound. 85 is upper bound, so add 0.5 to that upper bound. Make a continuity correction. Okay, so problem number 3 is an exercise homework. Okay, now let us take the fourth problem. Show that the area under the normal curve is unity. All of you make a note. This is a very important problem. Show that the area under the normal curve is unity. That is what we have to show now. That is the basic probability of the continuous probability distribution. The sum of all probabilities must be 1, or total integration must be
1.
1. Okay, so that is the properties of normal distribution. I told you to make it verify it. Let us see that one. Okay, so this is problem number 4. Okay, so what is our the PDF of a normal random variable x is given by f of x is equal to n of mu comma sigma equal to 1 by sigma root 2 pi. Can you remember the PDF? 1 by sigma root 2 pi e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square, minus infinity less than x less than infinity. What are mu and sigma here? What are mu and sigma? Parameters. Okay, we don't say that they are mean and standard deviation. Though I'm using the symbols mu and sigma, I don't see it as mean and standard deviation unless I show that they are actually mean and standard deviation of the normal random variable. Okay, at present I assume that they are only parameters. Okay, so clearly f of x is greater than or equal to 0 because it is an exponential function for all x. Okay, now only thing I have to see whether the total integration is 1 or not. Consider minus infinity to infinity f of x dx. You need to have the knowledge of multiple integrals here. Okay, so what is this minus infinity to infinity? What is f of x? 1 by sigma root 2 by e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square dx. Okay, now how do we proceed this? Any idea? Generally, to do the integration, what we do? We take some substitution, no? So what could be the substitution?
X minus 3.
Equal to what? What is the natural name to be given to this? What is x minus mu by sigma? Generally, after doing all these problems,
Z.
this is actually formula z.
Z is
Okay, so naturally call it as z. Okay, that means what? X equal to mu plus sigma z. So what is dx? Sigma dz. Okay, so what are the limits? As x tends to infinity, now see, as x tends to infinity, mu and sigma are constant. As x tends to infinity, x minus mu also tends to infinity. That means z also tends to. Okay, so z tends to infinity. Now as x tends to minus infinity, z is also tending to, as x tends to minus infinity. Therefore, what will be integration? Therefore, integral minus infinity to infinity f of x dx is equals to 1 by sigma root 2 pi is constant. I can write outside minus infinity to infinity e power minus. So x minus mu by sigma I am considering it as z. Okay. So minus 1 by 2 z square. What is dz? dx is what? Sigma dz. Do you agree? So sigma gets cancelled. 1 by root 2 pi e minus infinity to infinity e power minus 1 by 2 z square. Now how can I simplify this integral? What are the limits? Minus infinity to infinity. Okay. Now what are you seeing here? Z square, even powers. So even powers and minus 2 plus means, so how can I rewrite this?
2 into
2 times of
Yes.
0 to
Yeah. Because it is in even function, right? So this is 2 by root 2 pi 0 to infinity e power minus z square by. Is it okay? So this is 1 by what is it? Root of 2 by pi. So root of root 2 by root
2
pi
by root pi.
0 to infinity e power minus z square by 2 dz. Now how do you remember any derivation for it? 0 to infinity e power minus z square by 2 dz. How do we do this? I will do that. I will show that here in a rough work. Okay. Later you see. Okay. Now what I want is 0 to infinity e power minus z square by 2 dz. Am I right? Now can I write this as 0 to infinity e power minus x square by 2 dz? You see this integral alone. Okay. Can I write this as 0 to infinity e power minus y square by 2 dy? So it is not dz, it is dx. This integrand is a dummy variable, no? Why? Because outcome is a constant. Outcome does not depending on the kind of variable that you are using in the integrand. Am I right? If you realize this point, I think we can proceed easily. Outcome of a definite integral is a constant. That constant does not depending on the symbol that you are using here. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So I will call it as I. I will call it as I. Multiply I and I. What is I and I? First I is 0 to infinity e power minus x square by 2 dx into 0 to infinity. Another I will take it as e power minus y square by 2 dy. Is it okay? Now this integral has a constant. Because outcome is a constant, no? Can I bring this constant inside the integral? Constants can always be taken into inside the integral, no? So this is a constant 0 to infinity e power minus x square by 2 dx into e power minus y square by 2 dy. Now again to this integral, this is a constant because you integrate with respect to x. Other variables are treated as constant. So take this constant inside this. What do you get? To infinity e power minus x square by 2 into e power by 16. Is that okay? This as 0 to infinity e power minus 1 by 2 into x square plus y square dx dy. What is this integral called? What is this integral called? What is this integral called? Huh? Somebody said.
Double integral.
This is double.
Double integral.
This is double integral. This is double integral. So for a double integral, what is the region of integration? X varying from
area
0 to infinity. Y varying from 0. That means what is the region of integration? Both x is positive, y is positive means what? The region of integration is the entire first quadrant. Do you agree? X varies from 0 to infinity. X varies from 0 to infinity. Now convert it into polar coordinates. Convert into polar coordinates. So what is the substitution for polar coordinates? Let me do it quickly.
X square plus
What is the
y
conversion
square
from
is
Cartesian? What is the first substitution? X equal to
R
r
sin
cos
theta.
theta.
A cos
Y
theta.
equal to r sin theta. You need to remember the previous concepts. Okay. dy dx or dx dy equal to r dr d theta. Okay. Now you see r varies from 0 to infinity. Okay, radius vector is going to infinity. Theta varying from where to where? You rotate this ray from lower bound to upper bound of the region. So how theta is varying? Theta varying from 0 to theta varying from where to where?
0 to 90. 0 to 90
You should
degrees.
never say 90. In calculus, do we use degrees? You
Pi
are
by
integrating
2.
with respect to real number. Pi by 2 is
0 to
radians,
pi
right?
by
Radians
2.
is
Pi
radians.
by
Okay, r varies from 0 to infinity. Theta varies from, remember, calculus, we avoid degrees. Okay, theta varies from 0 to pi by 2. Is that okay? Therefore, I square becomes r varies from 0 to where? Infinity. Theta varies from 0 to pi by 2. E power minus 1 by 2 x square plus y square is r square, dx dy is r dr dt. Now you see r is here, 1 by 2 r square derivative. What is derivative of d by dr of e power minus 1 by 2 r square? E power minus 1 by 2 r square into minus am I right or not? Minus is there. Therefore, this is going to be what? So when you apply integration on both sides, okay, what do you get? So you get this as 0 to pi by 2 minus r square by 2 with the limits from 0 to infinity with minus because minus is right side. Okay, d theta. Okay, upper limit is going to be the, what is it? 0 lower. So 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 d theta. So what is that value we got? Theta from 0 to pi by 2 means what? Pi by 2.
Pi by 2.
I square. What I want?
I.
I want
E
I
pi by
I equal to root of pi by 2. Is that okay? Which is 0 to infinity e power minus x square by 2 dz. So copy that value here. Okay. Yeah. So here root of 2 by pi and this value got is root. What is the value you got? 1. That is what we want to show. Area under the normal curve is 1. Is this clear to all of you? So this requires a certain amount of multiple integrations knowledge. Okay. So using this
Sir, your
mean
voice is breaking, sir.
uh, you so you so now you prove that mean and variance of the normal distribution as mean. Did you hear?